Liam, 14, and his 13-year-old sister Clara were inseparable, sharing jokes, snacks, and secrets as siblings often do. Their parents, Anthony and Mercy, worked hard to create a warm and loving home for them. Anthony, a school teacher, and Mercy, a nurse, made sure to teach their kids about responsibility and respect. While balancing their busy lives, they kept close tabs on Liam and Clara's activities, monitoring devices, setting screen time limits, and emphasizing honesty. But in their busy schedules, they missed one critical detail: enabling parental controls on their cable TV. One Friday night, after their parents had gone to bed, Liam and Clara stayed up, excited to enjoy a rare late-night movie marathon. Liam flipped through the channels, searching for something to watch. He paused when he stumbled upon a show unlike anything they'd seen before. The screen displayed adult content graphic, confusing and utterly foreign to the young teens. Clara blinked at the screen, unsure what she was looking at. "Liam, is this a mistake? Shouldn't we change the channel?" Liam hesitated. I don't think we're supposed to watch this. But it's here, right? It's on the TV. Maybe it's not that bad." The two sat in stunned silence, curiosity overcoming their initial hesitation. They didn't fully understand what they were watching, but it left an impression one they couldn't shake the next day. Curiosity turns to experimentation. In the days that followed, Liam and Clara kept returning to what they had seen. It wasn't something they could talk to their parents about. They weren't even sure how to put it into words. Instead, they began whispering about it to each other, giggling nervously as they tried to make sense of the images and actions. Eventually, they started mimicking some of the behaviors they'd seen. They weren't trying to be harmful. They were just curious, thinking it was harmless fun. What they didn't understand was that their experiments carried emotional and psychological implications far beyond what their young minds could process. Anthony was observant by nature, a skill honed by years as a teacher. He started to notice subtle changes in Liam and Clara. They seemed unusually quiet around each other, no longer engaging in their usual playful arguments. Sometimes he caught them exchanging strange looks, as if they shared a secret. One evening, while passing by Liam's room, Anthony heard muffled laughter. Curious, he opened the door and froze. "What are you two doing?" he asked, his voice sharp. Liam and Clara jumped apart, their faces flushed with guilt. Neither could look him in the eye. Anthony didn't need them to explain. The look on their faces, combined with their behavior over the past week, told him enough. "Both of you living room, now." The morning after. The next morning, Anthony and Mercy sat Liam and Clara down on the couch. Anthony had barely slept, replaying the events of the night in his mind, while Mercy had tried to calm him, reminding him to approach the situation with understanding. "First, let's start with honesty," Anthony began. "What's been going on with you two? What were you doing last night?" Liam glanced at Clara, who was already tearing up. "We didn't mean to do anything bad," Liam said. We saw something on TV last week. It just came on, and we got curious." "What did you see?" Mercy asked gently. Clara sniffled. "A show. It wasn't for kids. We didn't know it would be on, but we kept watching. And we just wanted to see what it was like." Anthony ran a hand over his face, trying to stay calm. "Listen to me," he said firmly but gently. "What you saw on that show isn't meant for kids or even most adults, to be honest. It's not real life. It doesn't show love, respect, or anything about how real relationships work." Mercy leaned forward, her voice soft. "Those shows are made to entertain, not to teach. They leave out all the important parts, like how people should treat each other, or how to talk about feelings. What you saw wasn't about love or caring. It was just about making something look exciting. But we weren't trying to do anything bad, Liam said quietly. We just didn't know what it meant. And that's okay, Mercy reassured him. You're growing up, and curiosity is natural. But there's a right way to learn about these things, and it starts by coming to us. You don't have to figure this out on your own. Anthony nodded. Here's the thing. What you saw can give you the wrong ideas about what it means to care about someone. It can make you think that people are just objects, or that relationships don't require respect, trust, and communication. That's why we don't want you watching it, and why we're going to make sure it doesn't happen again. Teaching and repairing. After the conversation, Anthony installed parental controls on the TV and went through their devices to ensure they were protected. He also made a point of having follow-up talks with Liam and Clara about relationships, emotions, and boundaries, emphasizing that they could come to him and Mercy with any questions. As part of their punishment, Liam and Clara were grounded for 2 weeks, with reduced screen time and extra chores. But Anthony and Mercy also used the opportunity to educate. They bought age-appropriate books about growing up and made time for family discussions about respect, trust, and self-awareness. Liam and Clara, though initially embarrassed, gradually came to appreciate their parents' openness. What started as a mistake turned into a valuable lesson for them and their parents. For Anthony and Mercy, the experience was a reminder that vigilance isn't just about setting rules, but also about being present and available for difficult conversations. For Liam and Clara, it was a lesson in trust and the importance of seeking guidance when navigating the complexities of growing up. A few years had passed since the midnight discovery that changed the way Anthony and Mercy approached parenting. Liam and Clara had grown older, with Liam now 17 and preparing for college, while Clara, at 15, was sent to boarding school. The decision to enroll Clara in boarding school wasn't taken lightly. Mercy had been offered a promotion at work that required longer hours, and Anthony's teaching schedule was equally demanding. Clara's school performance had been slipping, and Anthony felt a more structured environment might help her focus and thrive. But boarding school came with its own challenges. Away from the watchful eyes of her parents, Clara found herself in an entirely new world, one full of freedom, peer influence, and temptations she wasn't equipped to handle. Clara's struggles. At first, Clara enjoyed boarding school. She made friends quickly and was excited by the independence it offered. However, the unmonitored environment also rekindled memories of what she had seen that fateful night years ago. Some of her classmates were far more experienced and spoke openly about relationships and intimacy in ways that intrigued and confused her. One evening, during a late-night dormitory chat, Clara's roommate, Maya, was scrolling through her phone, showing videos to the group of girls. Some of the content was suggestive, and Clara felt a mix of embarrassment and familiarity. "Isn't this hilarious?" Maya laughed, oblivious to Clara's unease. Clara hesitated but eventually joined in. She didn't want to seem out of place or naive, so she laughed along, pretending to know more than she actually did. Over time, Clara began mimicking what she saw and heard, using it as a way to gain attention and acceptance among her peers. She didn't realize that her actions were becoming increasingly risky. The phone call home. Anthony and Mercy noticed the changes in Clara during her visits home. She seemed distant, more focused on her appearance, and often spoke with an air of defiance. When they confronted her, Clara brushed off their concerns, saying it was just how things were at school. One day, however, they received a call from Clara's school principal, Mr. and Mrs. Wilson. The principal began, "I'm afraid Clara has been exhibiting some troubling behavior. She's been caught sharing inappropriate content with her classmates, and engaging in conversations that are concerning for someone her age. Anthony's heart sank. "We'll be there tomorrow," he said, his voice heavy. A difficult reunion. When Anthony and Mercy arrived at the school, they found Clara waiting for them in the principal's office. She looked defiant at first but crumbled the moment she saw the disappointment in her parents' eyes. "Clara," Mercy began, her voice trembling. "What's going on? This isn't like you." Tears streamed down Clara's face as she struggled to find the words. "I don't know," she admitted. I didn't know how to fit in. Everyone else seems to know so much, and I thought I had to act like I did too." Anthony knelt beside her. "Clara, pretending to be someone you're not is never the answer. You're so much more than this. But we need to talk about why you felt the need to go down this path." Mercy added, "What you saw years ago on that channel, it wasn't real. It wasn't a guide for life. And it wasn't something you were meant to carry with you. But we should have done more to help you understand that." Rebuilding trust and understanding. The family spent the rest of the weekend together, having long conversations about peer pressure, self-worth, and the difference between performance and reality. Anthony and Mercy apologized for not staying as engaged as they should have during her transition to boarding school. Clara admitted that she had been feeling lost and unsure of herself. "I guess I thought being like them would make people like me," she said quietly. "Being yourself is enough, Clara," Anthony said firmly. "You don't need to follow what others do to be accepted. You're smart, kind, and capable. But you also need to understand that every action has consequences for yourself and for others." Mercy hugged her daughter. "We're going to get through this together. But from now on, we need to be more open with each other, okay? No more hiding how you're feeling." A new start. When Clara returned to school, Anthony and Mercy arranged for her to meet with a school counselor. They also stayed in close contact with her teachers and dorm staff, ensuring she had the support she needed. Clara began attending workshops on self-esteem and digital safety, gradually learning how to navigate relationships and peer pressure in healthier ways. Over time, Clara regained her confidence. The lessons she learned about self-respect, trust, and the dangers of imitating what she didn't understand stayed with her as she matured. For Anthony and Mercy, the experience was a sobering reminder of how easily outside influences could shape their children's lives. They doubled down on their efforts to stay connected, creating a home where Liam and Clara felt safe, sharing their struggles without fear of judgment. In the end, the family grew stronger, learning that no mistake was too big to overcome with love, communication, and understanding.